guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and today we're going to talk about some hotshot news. Some good, some bad. We're going to try to make something good out of something bad. More on that. Let's talk about the first run of ovens. We're going to go back to that. Serial number 1 was the most famous out of all those. The guy that got serial number 1 was really excited to get the very first oven. Let's talk about serial number 8. As you know, I made 8 ovens. So number 1 was the first one. Let's talk about serial number 8, which was the last one. I only made 8 ovens. Serial number 8 went to a friend of mine, Josh Freeman. Some of you may know he's my programmer. He's the one that did my all the work on my surface grinder. Those of you that followed the automation of my surface grinder. So Josh Freeman sent me a text. And I'm going to flash the picture up on the screen while I read the text that he sent me. Dear Hotshot 360 manufacturer, I was a lucky recipient of serial number 008. As you can tell from the pictures, I think there might be a slight manufacturing defect. It would appear it can't handle the heat or pressure of a 2,200 square foot house burning around and on top of it. I would like to warranty it, as honestly, I didn't do anything to cause what would result in its demise. I left it in the garage, and I came back 28 days later to what you see. I know that once you see it, you will understand that you simply screwed up making it, and you'll be more than eager to replace it. Sincerely, Josh Freeman, Paradise, California. All right, so the very first casualty is out. The Hotshot 360 that I sent up to Josh did not survive the Paradise fire. For some of you that know, the town of Paradise, California burned. And what we're going to do is we're going to, in the next run, which is probably in February, we're going to rebuild serial number 0008. We're going to dub it 008.1. And we're going to rebuild Josh's oven. I've got a t-shirt campaign going with, it's got Hotshot 360 on the left chest. And on the back, it just says, got heat. All right. So all proceeds from the t-shirt campaign are going to rebuild Josh's oven. And you get something out of it. You get a cool shirt. And both technicians from AFC that I work with all the time, both lived in Paradise. He's got another guy that works with him named Dennis that, you know, I've worked with both of these guys for a long time, and I like them both. And I've talked to Josh. I asked him, I said, hey, you know, how you doing as far as the insurance? Are they treating you good? Josh is getting treated pretty good with his insurance company. Dennis, which is the other technician that lives in Paradise, or lived in Paradise, not so much. You know, Dennis lost his home and everything out there. And the insurance company isn't treating him as good. And I've talked to both of them. Josh didn't want to do a GoFundMe. I offered it. Dennis said he'd appreciate the help. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and collect it on my PayPal. I'm going to put a link down below for my PayPal, and I'm going to get that straight to him. Dennis does not have a PayPal. It's like a PayPalme.com thing. Anyways, I'm going to collect the money for Dennis and send that directly to him. And he was not insured for contents of his home, from what I understand, which can be devastating. So, I mean, he needs things like dishes and housewares and just little stuff that we take for granted every day. All right, so that's the Paradise story about the Hotshot. It was tragic, and I was sad to see my oven get burned up, but it's even worse to see things like, here, take a look at Josh's boat. Here's Josh's house. And some of you know that the week of the fire, the week that the fire happened, FabTech was going on. Josh was all the way in Atlanta when this fire hit the town of Paradise. Cal Fire came up to his wife's door and said, "You got 5 minutes to get out." So she literally had 5 minutes to collect whatever and get out and pretty much kiss everything else goodbye. Whatever car she wanted to save, whatever papers or whatever she could save in 5 minutes, that's all that they were going to have. Now, Josh was actually blessed with the fact that he was on the road. He had a suitcase full of clothes and his laptop with him, so that got saved. So you got to take blessings where you can get them. All right, enough about that, but you know, give if you can. These guys are hurting up there. A lot of people are displaced. Josh and Dennis both have roofs over their heads. Whatever they may be, they're not great, but at least they got a roof over their heads. All right, guys, let's move on to the next 20. This is kind of looking backwards. Let's look forwards. Okay, so all our flat patterns came in. That's courtesy of Paul at ZT Fab. He does my plasma work and all my cutouts and stuff for me. Paul always does a wonderful job up there, and you know, he made the flat work happen and all the cutouts happen. The week after Black Friday, he was buried, and he still managed to get my parts out. You know, and I know he worked over the weekend just to get them done. And Paul at ZT Fab, I really appreciate it. Go check him out on the web, ZT Fabrication and alacarte.com. And you know, next up we bring the flat work in, we get them prepped, and now we're going to form some controls. I'm going to show you what it looks like forming controls. Okay, so those are the control boxes getting formed. They've already had all the holes and everything punched in them. Let's take a look at the fit. We made a couple little changes to the fit, just kind of aesthetics to the control box. So let's look how the nameplate goes on now and what we're doing with the fan. Okay, what we're working on is the cover plates. These are just the little cover plates, and I've made a change. You'll see I've got this broken. I didn't do a hem on it. I just got it broken to a 90. What we've got back here are just 90-degree corners. I'm just going into the shear after they're broken. You just 45, 45, and that's what you're ending up with there. Is a 45 on each side, and I'll show you why I did that. I'm going to take you inside and show you what I'm doing with the control now. I like the way it looks better. The way I'm doing it here, but I'll take you inside and show you how these line up with the nameplates. All right. Okay, we got our face plates formed, and we lobbed the corners off, and we're happy with the fit. This is how they fit on there, and that's how kind of the finished thing looks. So I'm pretty happy with that. I did take them to the belt sander. I had to actually edge all of these, and I wanted nice clean edges and knock off all the plasma. So I basically went around and cleaned all the edges of these, and now they're ready to attach face plates. Here is there's the boxes. This is an alarm model. This is where the alarm light goes in out front. So this one should be serialized with an S, which it is. So this indicates that it's a special. And then the covers, these haven't been drilled or anything yet. I'm doing these a little different this time. I'll show you how they fit. I put a little hook on the sheet metal on the side. I'm trying to do this with one hand and line it up. That's how it fits right there. So you can see it kind of wraps around the corner and gives that a smooth edge instead of having a rough edge on the outside. And that's how they line up right there. All right. So that's the controller box with a slight change. What we are doing it now with the bigger controllers, the fans no longer mount to the inside. They now need to mount to the outside because the new temperature controller is larger. And when you look at the side profile, the way the temperature controller comes down at an angle, it actually conflicts with the fan. It doesn't actually hit, but it's way too close for comfort. So we're going to be mounting the fans outboard, which has no effect on the airflow. Everything's going to work just fine. Just the fan's going to be outside instead of inside. And that gives me more room inside for electrics. So that's the only major change coming to the Hotshot. Okay, so here's the cooling fan, how it usually mounts inside, right there. And you can see it takes up a lot of space inside, and I needed room for the bigger controllers. And the simple fact is, it has no bearing. I put a fan guard on it anyways. We're just going to hang it right out the back, and the airflow direction will remain the same. And that leaves me a gob of space inside to for more electrics, you know. As these things get more advanced, you know, we're going to need room for these bigger temp controllers and stuff like that. So anyways, that's the name of that tune. Okay, and now all the buyouts are coming in. Let's take a look at all the buyouts. I'm still waiting on a few more parts, but let's take a look at some of the buyouts. Parts are starting to roll in the door. Okay, controllers came in. These are the 480Ds. These are the programmable jobs. And then these are the standard models. And these are so appealing to me because how compact that is. Tiny little thing. But even these are a great little controller. Anyways, controllers came in. And then I am using genuine Weco blocks. These are the little porcelain blocks that make the connections. These are the US made. You can tell by looking at them, it's a quality casting, or whatever you want to call it. It's a quality piece of porcelain. So these are very nice US made terminal blocks. We got SSRs back there. More SSRs. And we got heat sinks. There's the heat sinks. There and there. There's heat sinks already installed on the SSRs. We are using the 50 amp SSRs, the IDEX. That's the heat sink there on the back. So yeah, we got them. These are the temperature sensors for the cooling fans. We're actually going to start sensing surface temperature of the oven. We're no longer sensing air temperature, so we're using those. We got a box of, what the heck's in here? Oh, alarms. There's the alarms for the fancy pants controllers. So those came in. We're still waiting on thermal overloads. Thermocouples, we got them. These are a custom length. Total insertion into the oven is 1 inch, and it's made to go through 2 inches of insulation. So there's all the thermocouples. We got control fuses and fuse holders, control switches, door latches that I'm finally happy with. We're making, these are the little brackets we make. I made a bunch of extras, and then this is the actual bracket. After it's formed, it rolls over, and we find one that's already installed somewhere. Here's one. That's what it looks like there. On the bracket, just gets riveted to the bracket. And these little fellows bolt up or rivet to the door itself. So door latches that I'm happy with, and so those are ready to go. Hinges are done. Elements are wound. There's all the elements already wound up and ready to go in. So pretty much everything's done. We just got to do some assembly and make oven shells. We can while we're waiting on our thermal overloads and things like that, we can go ahead and do oven shells and get the installation done while we're waiting on that. It's not holding me up just yet. And we're still missing a few things. I've still got some stuff on back order that I'm waiting on. Thermal breakers and a couple of other little things, little trinkets that I need to actually finalize it. But I can actually start building oven shells while I'm waiting for that stuff to come in. So far it hasn't put me behind. I'm still trying to get these out before the end of December for you guys. All right. I appreciate you guys watching. That's all the news that is news on the Hotshot 360. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.